The McLaren Quantum Edge 2056 begins with a sensation that feels almost unreal. A roadster that doesn't just cut through air, but moves through time-layered waves of motion, bending perception and physics in a way that makes every acceleration feel like slipping between different realities. Its presence alone is electrifying, glowing with shifting spectral lines that ripple along the body as though light itself is being sculpted around the car. The moment you see it, you understand that this is not simply the next evolution of supercars. It is McLaren's bold leap into time-responsive performance. A machine designed to anticipate movement before it happens and align itself with the driver on an instinctive emotional level. It is the rebirth of the performance roadster, not defined by combustion or electrons, but by the manipulation of temporal energy streams that allow motion to feel impossibly fluid. From the instant you step toward it, the Quantum Edge senses your presence and adjusts its luminous pattern, aligning its energy currents to match your heartbeat and emotional state. This introduction feels more like meeting a sentient companion than approaching a machine. McLaren's iconic design DNA is still there: the aerodynamic purity, sculpted aggression, the razor-sharp edges, but now translated into a form that seems grown rather than built. The body uses spectral graphene layered with chronoreactive fibers, materials that shift structure at the quantum level to reduce drag, improve heat flow, redirect turbulence into smooth, flowing trails of light. Instead of traditional surfaces, the Quantum Edge has a dynamic skin that adjusts thickness and flexibility as velocity changes, giving it an aesthetic that appears alive, tight and sharp during intense acceleration, relaxed and fluid during calm cruising. Every crease and contour functions like a wave conductor, helping the roadster dive through time-modulated air pockets for unmatched efficiency. At the core of the Quantum Edge is the foundation that makes its performance impossible in any conventional sense: the quantum energy spine, a linear lattice embedded through the chassis that channels harvested zero-point energy. This spine powers the time wave drive, a system that manipulates microtemporal fields around the vehicle, reducing perceived inertia and creating controlled distortions that allow the car to move with near lagless response. Acceleration feels instantaneous, not because of brute force, but because the time wave system shifts the moment of propulsion forward by milliseconds, giving the sensation of being pulled into the future. The Quantum Edge does not simply push against the road, it folds the experience of movement into a continuous wave, making high-speed travel feel effortless, light, and eerily smooth. Onto full output, the roadster emits shimmering arcs of chronolight from its rear conduits, forming luminous trails that bend softly in the air like ripples on water, making every launch a visual phenomenon. The driving experience becomes even more surreal as the car glides across terrain, with its chrono-adaptive suspension eliminating the sensation of bumps by pre-reading the road in time-layered scans. Instead of reacting to obstacles, the system predicts them across micro-future frames and prepares the chassis before the wheels ever arrive. The result is a level of stability and comfort that feels unreal, as though the car is always half a second ahead of the world around it. Cornering becomes a dance of time and physics, where the Quantum Edge subtly shifts its mass signature to improve grip and redirect forces, allowing the car to hug turns with a weightless precision that borders on levitation. Even wind resistance is recalibrated through chrono dampers, giving the impression of moving through an invisible cushion that adapts dynamically to speed. Inside, the Quantum Edge becomes a time-responsive sanctuary. The cockpit flows around the driver like a sculpted wave, formed from liquid carbon blends and translucent nanocrystal interfaces that react to touch, mood, and motion. The seats reshape at the molecular level to fit your spinal alignment, taking into account micro-shifts in your posture and muscle tension. Ambient lighting glows in soft spectral gradients that follow your breathing rhythm, creating a sense of harmony between mind, body, and machine. Instead of screens, floating holographic temporal layers display data in thin, shifting arc speed, trajectory, environmental patterns, and even predicted road events appear in soft, semi-transparent overlays. You feel wrapped in an environment designed not just for performance but for clarity, calm, and heightened awareness. Every element is responsive. Surfaces warm or cool at the slightest touch, textures adjust to reduce stress, and even the acoustics shift based on your emotional state, giving the cabin the feel of a living organism. At the center of this experience is GoneSync, the Quantum Edge's advanced temporal predictive AI. It's designed to create an emotional and intuitive connection between driver and machine. GonSync reads micro-expressions, eye movement, heart rate, and neurological patterns through subtle sensors integrated into the cockpit. It adjusts driving dynamics before you consciously make decisions, creating a form of synchrony where the car feels like an extension of your reflexes. If you are tense, GonSync softens steering resistance, adjusts time wave output to create smoother acceleration, and calms the cabin environment. If you are confident and energized, it sharpens responsiveness, intensifies chronolight ambience, and opens more aggressive motion mapping. Safety becomes predictive, not reactive. GonSync calculates risk across multiple possible future frames, preparing the vehicle to avoid collisions through preemptive maneuvers or temporal dampening. In extreme cases, the AI can slow time perception for the driver, heightening awareness during sudden emergencies and giving the sensation of expanded reaction time. Even the concept of safety evolves beyond physical protection. The quantum framework reinforces the chassis through real-time energy stiffening that hardens impact zones only when necessary, creating a structure that adapts dynamically to protect its occupants. The Quantum Edge constantly evaluates environmental variables, weather shifts, terrain anomalies, driver fatigue, emotional imbalance, and adjusts its behavior to maintain harmony between human and machine. This seamless blend of intelligence and intuition transforms safety into a living, experienced phenomenon rather than a static mechanical safeguard. Sustainability becomes a core aspect of its identity, not a secondary feature. The time wave drive harvests dispersed atmospheric particles, radiant heat, and cosmic background energy, ensuring that the Quantum Edge produces zero emissions and almost no material waste. Its chronoreactive body repairs microscratches through molecular realignment, healing itself under spectral light. All fabrics, composites, and organic polymers are biodegradable or regeneratively sourced, ensuring the car can sustain itself for decades with minimal resource consumption. The interior air purification system recycles cabin atmosphere through quantum scrubbing, providing cleaner air inside the car than outside, even in polluted cities. The Quantum Edge stands as one of the most environmentally harmonious hyperroadsters ever created, proving that extreme performance and sustainability can merge into a singular, elegant expression. Over time, the Quantum Edge becomes more than a roadster. It becomes a chronicle of the driver's life. GonSync stores emotional imprints, favorite routes, driving styles, and personal preferences, gradually evolving into a companion that understands its owner with depth and subtlety. Memories are stored as spectral echoes within the system, allowing the car to recreate specific emotional atmospheres, lighting, acoustics, road feel based on past experiences. Every journey adds to the Quantum Edge's personality, shaping it into a uniquely bonded machine that reflects the identity of the driver. It becomes a symbol of what future performance truly means, not speed alone, but harmony between time, emotion, motion, and consciousness. The legacy of the McLaren Quantum Edge 2056 is defined by its role in reshaping the meaning of a roadster. It does not just offer power, it offers transcendence. It turns motion into an art form where time becomes a material to be shaped, where physics feels alive, and where the bond between human and machine reaches an emotional depth previously impossible. This is the next frontier of performance, a hyper-intelligent, it's a time-responsive masterpiece that redefines what driving can feel like. The Quantum Edge is more than a machine. It is an experience of flowing through the future, crafted for those who believe that the thrill of driving should evolve beyond speed into pure living sensation. The McLaren Quantum Edge 2056 stands as more than the next leap in hyper-roadster engineering. It represents a philosophical shift in how humanity interacts with motion, speed, and time itself. Every element of the car feels intentionally crafted to blur the line between physics and emotion, pulling the driver into a space where acceleration doesn't feel like force but like slipping through a perfectly aligned flow of timelines. The deeper you experience the Quantum Edge, the more it feels as though the vehicle isn't simply moving forward, it's moving differently. One of the most mesmerizing aspects of the Quantum Edge is its time wave, flow dynamics, an ever-shifting aerodynamic field that changes according to atmospheric density, temperature, road curvature, and micro-time distortions generated by the time wave engine. Rather than pushing against the air, the car sculpts it, forming invisible channels that guide it through space with almost telepathic precision. During night drives, those soft ripples of ionized air glow faintly around the edges of the body, creating a ghostly trail that hints at the bending of temporal layers. Inside, the experience becomes a seamless continuation of that surreal exterior. Every surface pulses with soft, ambient signature waves tuned to the driver's biometric field. Your breathing subtly changes the cabin's resonance. Your pulse shifts the lighting tone. Even your emotional patterns guide how the road-sense neural system shapes traction response on upcoming turns. Everything feels alive, perceptive, and attuned to who you are in that very moment. The result is something beyond comfort. It's a synchronous harmony between human intention and machine interpretation. The Roadster also creates a sense of spatial expansion that makes long journeys feel shorter, smoother, almost dreamlike. The time-wave stabilizers reduce microvibrations to near zero, allowing the driver to feel weightless even while carving through high-G corners. Wind noise dissolves into silence, replaced only by the soft hum of quantum energy oscillation. Even at top speeds, the cabin remains serene, transforming high performance, driving into a meditative state. With every mile, the Quantum Edge 2056 deepens its bond with its driver. Learning preferences, studying microbehaviors, and syncing with personal rhythms. It becomes more than a hyper-roadster, it becomes a catalyst for the future of human-machine connection. A companion engineered to redefine the sensation of movement for an entirely new generation.